Hey guys, it's almost midnight in old good old Lone Star State, and I'm awake mostly so I can do some stuff. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to do a very long and coming late review on Blinding Beauty. I read this book as an ARC before it came out last year, and I did not review it, and I feel really bad, but I'm glad I got to wait for the nice, lovely, thick. This book is a lot thicker than the original book. The book before this one, before Beauty. Anyway, I'm glad I got to wait for it. I initially gave this book a 5 out of 5 star rating. I absolutely adore this book. I adore this series. Again, I've already read the series. And I have Silent Mermaid on my Kindle, which I have not read yet. And I might wait for it to come out in hardcover right here so I can read it, because I just absolutely I love her covers, and I love being able to feel like, her really nice big thick books in my hands, and that's just a personal thing because I just love all the books. I love feeling the books. Anyway, so Blinding Beauty picks up 5 months, 5 months after Before Beauty. Isa and Everard, they're newlyweds, and things aren't going very hot for them. Isa is slowly becoming depressed, and as the more depressed she becomes, the more her fire, her inner power, the power that she now has, because the fortress blessed her, it's fading. It's fading fast, and as it fades, her strength and her basically everything fades. Her patience fades. Her will to really want to excel in the duties of queenship, that fades. Everything fades, and she becomes more of a shadow. She's on her way to becoming a shadow of the person that we are left with at the end of Before Beauty. And one of the reasons why that is because Ever is not helping things. Ever is being the typical guy who only knows the girl for like 3 months and then whisks off into a marriage with her. And we are presented with the problems of such a union. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely adore Brittany Fichter, is because she tackles certain issues in fairy tales that just, where is it? It's just like when you do get married like that, you're not gonna have a year of bliss, especially when you have not known each other for very long. And now, while Brittany Fichter weaves in a reason why they don't know each other very well, and basically how marriage, typically when you get married, the healthiest relationship possible will grow in that marriage, despite little bumps in the road, and they will grow quickly. Isa and Ever are not growing very fast. It's month 5, and Ever is still going off and doing things that Mr. Bachelor would do. Now, I don't think that's entirely inaccurate of a description for marriages in general, but this is like the extreme version of like what newlyweds would deal with, in the sense of, pick your clothes up off the floor and put them in the dirty clothes basket. It's right there. Now, I do have that issue too, so I can't speak about it too much, but because I'm lazy and I take the clothes out of my drawer and put the basket in the middle of my room, and I don't touch it until like Friday, and then I'm like, oh, I've already gone through half of this. No, this book depicts far more than that. we have the Glass Queen. I think that's this fairy tale that I haven't read this fairy tale. I do have it in my little anthology of fairy tales. I got two. I have the Grimms and Hans Christian Andersen's, and I think Christian Andersen wrote the Snow Queen and the Glass Queen. I'm not sure, but it's in there, and so I'll end up reading it eventually. Just not right now because I'm tired. And I have like a lot of other books to read. Oh my gosh, so many books, and I need to tackle a classic that's not Dune. Even though I like Dune, I just need a classic. So anyway, I have Brockendal, I think. Brockendal. It's very Scandinavian. I do like how Brittany Fichter basically says, yeah, these people are Scandinavian. They're gonna have those names. They're going to have Dutch-related Scandinavian names, and it's interesting. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy how the names are completely outlandish and nobody really knows what you're talking about because it's a Scandinavian name, and yeah, it's good. I like it. But Brock is like he's the son of the Glass Queen, and he is a shadow of her. His power pales in comparison to hers in every way possible. But he's dabbled in enough bad black magical stuff that it makes him powerful enough to where while she can stop him, she can't apprehend him successfully while live. And that happened in the legend that they're built on according to this novel. She just completely she basically dies, and just to keep him asleep because she couldn't bring herself to kill him. And then we have our issue now where we have Brockendal trying to slowly take over the world. This is literally our main characters intent on who are intent on taking over the world, and or stopping somebody who wants to take over the world, and they succeed but barely, and it basically takes them to here in this book to reconcile all the differences that they have in order to stop Brock from taking over the world. Anyway, so I meant this to be a short review, so I'm not going to. One of the themes in here are marriage and conquering fear. Fear is the mind killer. And then also basically learning how to accept responsibilities and accept your state in life. And I mean, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't know how to accept responsibility for anything. A lot of people don't know how to conquer their fear, myself being one of them. And a lot of people don't know how to just step beyond their comfort zone and truly step beyond their comfort zone. I don't mean going out and doing something completely outlandish. No, I'm thinking along the lines of do something that's actually brave. That really is brave. That's stepping out of your comfort zone. Because no one wants to do anything brave. And that's what these guys end up doing in the long run, and it's absolutely amazing. And I completely recommend people to buy it. A personal note to Brittany Fichter in regards to editing issues. I did find about, I don't remember explicitly, but about this far past the halfway point in this book, there were some typos, and I figured you would like to know. One of the things that I found whenever I would edit my papers and they were incredibly long is I would go through and I would edit them from beginning to end, and I would just wait a day and then scroll back down Like, you know, wait a day or two to scroll back down and then start from the bottom up to edit. I feel because there are very few typos in the beginning of the novel, but the end of the novel, they start becoming a little bit more in there. And so I figured you would like to know. It's a long book. I'm not surprised you didn't catch everything. You basically have to have 5 or 6 people editing the book to catch everything. So I mean, it's fine. But some of them were a little. Some of it was sentence structure. So I would look at the sentence structure a little bit, because it was jarring enough to where I did notice and had to squint at it for a little bit, because I wasn't quite sure what I read. And then my mind comprehended it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, moving on. So I mean, they're not glaringly terrible. Oh my goodness, the book is ruined typos, but they're there, and I figured you would like to know. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to say adieu. Good night, y'all.